And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top 100 ranked team here in Tampa Bay, always helping our buyers invest properly and smartly, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, as well as refinancing. We're helping you refinance now as well. I have my mortgage loan originator license, so we can help you with that. Buying houses cash as well. We help you in a lot of different ways here. Plus, we have 80 different categories of consumer advocates on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Think about your CPA, financial advising, attorneys, all types of great home service providers. We got Ray Hall in studio with us as well today. Ray Hall Appraisals. He's a valuation expert. He's going to help you put the right value on those properties, which is super important in the real estate space, of course. So we're going to touch base on that. We got our event coming up, Crown and Bull, Thursday, May 22nd. Thursday events, 22nd, 6 o'clock over at the awesome new location, Crown and Bull over there, Dunedin. Going to be a good time. To the hotline, 813-917-1894. You can call or text that show hotline. It's an off-air number, 813-917-1894. Coming up, top 5 family movies. We're bringing back our top 5 list this week as well. Also, feel-good story of the day. Preschool teacher spots symptoms and tells parents, leading to child's early diagnosis with rare disease. So feel-good story of the day for Teacher Appreciation Week this week as well, happening now. All right, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. As you know, we like to feature our real estate listings live on air. Maximum exposure leads to maximum profit in a shorter marketing period. We got a beautiful listing at 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Beautiful property, 5 bedrooms. You have 3 bath. 3,500 square foot single family home, gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, 100 feet of water frontage on deep water access to the Gulf of America, and you have the highest land elevation in the area, 1 block to beach access where you can see the dolphin-filled waters and walk on the sugar sand beaches, beautiful Pinellas County. Check out 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in Tampa Bay. 1210 Paradise Lake Drive, Tarpon Springs. This is a single-family home, right around a $500,000 price tag on it. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, 2,274 square feet. You have lots of storage here, large attic, beautiful pool in the backyard, screened-in pool with a spa package there, fireplace in the family room, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, hurricane-proof front door with a lifetime warranty. 1210 Paradise Lake Drive, Tarpon Springs. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. All right, Ray Hall back in studio with us. Ray Hall Appraisals, welcome in.
Thanks for having me back. Always a good time.
Yeah, buddy. Good stuff, man. How you been? Everything good?
Keeping busy. It's that time of the year for us in real estate where things pick up. A lot of people move in. A lot of people want to get into that new school district. So business has been good. one of the things I wanted to talk about today was I'm still dealing with those FEMA rules.
Yeah.
That people are having to go through from the hurricanes that we had. So definitely it's been quite the spring for my business.
Yeah. So you're a real estate investor. Also, you're investing in real estate, buying off market properties.
Correct.
What's that? How's that been for you?
So far, so good. I did buy a flood damaged house out in Pinellas County. We've been working on that. I also fell into that whole FEMA 50% rule that I had to deal with. It was quite a difficult time. But always looking for some good deals, and it's I've been in real estate now for 20 years, so I've been appraising, and it's kind of nice to start on a different aspect of what I've been doing and building that process and starting that new business. So it's been fun. It's been really interesting.
And everybody knows you make your money on the buy side, right?
Exactly. So everyone says the same thing. You're good at what everybody else kind of has problems with, which is valuing that after repair value.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, an after repair value is what that house is going to be worth once the renovations are complete. And if you want to have a successful flip or investment, that's the number you have to know, because oftentimes you want to refinance out of your hard money or however you're getting into that house.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that value on the back end, you could be stuck paying a lot of interest for a long time.
Yeah, big time. That's a big deal. That's arguably the most important, skill set to have is,
Yes.
what you have with your appraisal background.
Though I've learned there's a lot of other things I don't know, and definitely needed some help along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with the renovations and contractors and things like that. So
yeah,
it's been a process.
So we mentioned the 50% rule. What is that 50% rule?
So here's what happens. FEMA tells people if you're in a flood zone, if you're going to do work on your house, the work has to cost less than 50% of the structure. So, for example, let's say we have a house and the whole house is worth $200,000 market value. Maybe $100,000 is the land value and $100,000 is the value of the building that you're living in, the dwelling.
Yeah, structure. Yeah.
FEMA says you can only spend $50,000 on that house, whether it's you want to renovate it or you want to put an addition on or anything like that. You can only spend $50,000. The problem people are coming up with now is they've had the hurricane damage, and they're coming up with these numbers of what it costs to repair the house.
Right.
And they're very high numbers. And basically, people are getting money to do the renovations or the repairs, if there are any, and they're being told, nope, it's more than 50% of the value of the structure. You can either move the house. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
You can raise the house over the floodplain. Who's going to do that? Mm-hmm. Or you can knock the house down.
Right.
They're not giving people the option to fix the house. And I've been helping a lot of people get through that because a lot of people are scared.
Yeah. They're
getting letters from the county or the municipality. It's different for every municipality. As you know, in Pinellas, there's a lot of them out there.
Yep.
And they're getting these letters, and people are getting scared that they have to tear their homes down.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's a tough situation. And so play advocate here, or devil advocate, or as they say. Why are they doing that?
Brandon, I don't know. That's the issue that I have is, this is your home.
Yeah.
You buy it.
It's property rights, right?
You're paying for it. I've always said in the past, you don't really own your home. You're renting it from the government.
Yeah.
That's what your taxes
You're paying
is.
Taxes, yeah.
That's your taxes. Because if you don't pay the taxes, what are they going to do? They're going to take it from you.
Yep.
And it has to do with, FEMA coming in and giving help. And I guess it's to lessen their costs.
Yeah, if it were to happen again.
If it were to happen again, we don't want to have to keep putting money into these older homes that aren't worth, all this money.
Yeah.
But it's really unfortunate because I've had houses that had no flooding on the interior.
Wow.
No water got in it. They're mobile homes.
Yeah.
No water got in, and they got a letter saying you have to tear your house down.
Wow.
And and if you want to talk about customer service, I've been kind of going above and beyond. I'm trying to help these people because I'm going down to the county offices.
Wow.
Saying, why is this not, why are you not accepting this?
Right.
And I asked at one point, I said, there has been no flooding. Why are they even why are they even going through this? And the reason was, well, it got wet underneath and it can rust.
Huh. Wow.
I said, well, they've been in salt air for, 50 years.
Yeah.
It's why now?
Yeah.
And that's, the problem we're having. And, Also the problem is they're not going off what appraisers have to do. We've been taught to do valuations a particular way, and unfortunately now non-appraisers are saying, no, you're doing that wrong. Which I've been doing it for 20 years. I know I'm doing it right.
Right.
And basically we're having to really, and Brandon, I'm sure in your experience, you've come across the phrase effective age.
Yes.
That's basically as you update your house, as you renovate your house, even though the actual age might be 50, that effective age comes down a little bit.
Right.
Every time you fix something, because the house is going to last longer now. And, there's municipalities out there that are saying we can't do that. If the house is 50 years old, then that's what you're determining your depreciation on, 50 years of depreciation. Well, that's not the right way to do it. So, we're really doing a lot to try to help these folks out and, get appraisals done for them that, are acceptable to the municipalities and can help these people save their homes.
Right. Yeah, as a way to combat that substantial damage report.
Correct.
That's the letter you're referring to, right?
Yes.
That's the letter that comes out that says, hey, here's your substantial damage report. Here's what the value is in our eyes as the municipality. And that's where they dictate that 50% rule number.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now I'll tell people this as well. Your appraisal might not work out. They may fight it. Another option you have is to call the county assessor. Every county has a property appraiser, and their job is to assess the value of your house for tax purposes.
Yep.
Hillsborough has it, Pinellas, Polk, everybody in Florida, everybody across the country. Contact them, see if you can get them to reassess the improvement value on the house. Don't mess with the overall value, because that's going to increase your taxes. But if you want to save your house, talk to them about the reassessment of the building value.
Okay.
And when you do that, talk to them about what you had done to the house. And this is what I had to do.
Yeah. Especially new windows.
Right.
It's a big cost.
And, the person was really helpful, in this office. And she said, yeah, those windows don't look original. We should, change that. I said the flooring had been updated. I said the appliances had been updated. Some of the cabinetry was updated.
Yep.
And they were able to reassess that value, come up with a higher assessed value.
Yep.
And that, with my project, is what saved me.
Right.
So that's another option.
Yeah, Mike Twitty's been on the show. Mike Twitty, the property Hillsborough, or he's the Pinellas County property appraiser.
Yes.
And then over in Hillsborough, he's been on the show too, Bob Henriquez.
Yep.
And he was the old ball coach that we played against back in the day.
Yeah.
Had to beat Tampa Catholic, by the way, on the way to state championship game. Yeah, semifinals. Sorry, Bob, but But hey. So, Ray, those are great tips, man, and you're going above and beyond for people out there. We appreciate that. Ray Hall Appraisals. He's online at rayhallappraisals.com, rayhallappraisals.com. And you do commercial, vacant land, residential. You're doing all types of appraisals.
I do it all. In fact, I'm flying out to Philadelphia to help with the commercial report next week. I actually do appraisals in 9 states right now.
Nice.
I have, partnerships with other appraisers who help me out with certain things, but I also, do a lot of commercial flying and, as well as my private flying. And
yeah, that's right. You have your pilot license too, don't you?
I do. I got that about a year ago.
Good. You staying up with your hours?
Not as much as I've wanted to in the past year. I'm actually going to be joining a flying club hopefully next month.
Cool.
So, I do have a girlfriend, and she keeps saying, when are we going flying?
There you go.
When are you taking me to the Keys?
There you go.
So,
I like it.
I'm looking forward to doing that with her. She's
down
a
the
great person.
Bahamas or something like that.
I'd love to do it.
Quick flight.
Yeah, it is.
Quick flight.
It is. Well, not in the planes I fly. But.
Well, yeah, those 172s and stuff, those are a little bit, take a little bit longer. But, hey, better than being in traffic.
Exactly. That's
Flying
my favorite thing is to fly above I-4.
Yeah, just be like, hey, guys, call your friend up. Hey, I see you down there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I look down going, yep, I'll be in Plant City in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Strawberry Festival.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, man. Good stuff. Well, Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Longtime friend of the program. Ray's been on the show probably 5 to 7 years now. Somewhere in that range. We've been on air for 12 years as a consumer advocate. Everything we do on this quarterback show is about helping people understand their buying decisions, understand Ray did a great job of laying out the 50% rule and how that affects a lot of homeowners out there. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or maybe you want an owner's use appraisal, reach out to the show hotline, 813-917-1894. You can call or text that show hotline. It's an off-air number, 813-917-1894. And you can also submit an email at consumerqb.com. We got top 5 family movies coming up. Top 5 is back. Top 5 family movies. Also, our feel-good story of the day. Preschool teacher spots symptoms and tells parents leading to child's early diagnosis with rare disease. Feel-good story of the day coming up. More with Ray Hall. Quick break. Right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rhymes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rhymes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back here in studio. We've got Ray Hall in the house, Ray Hall Appraisals on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's our go-to for all things appraisals and valuations, of course. A quick shout-out to our friends over at Brio Tuscan Grill. That's the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff over there. They got daily specials as well, Monday through Friday happy hours. You get a lot more bang for your buck during those happy hours, but fresh from scratch, Tuscan-inspired recipes. Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez and let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. They give free appetizer if you mention the Consumer Quarterback Show. And also, they may hook you up with a free water with lemon. Sometimes they do. They'll take care of you over there. All right, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty. We got 9594 Southeast Mare Camp Road in Ocala, Florida. This is a commercial listing. One of my favorite listings here because you've got multiple income streams coming in on this property in Ocala. The owner is, of course, it's a cash cow, thriving hardware store, but you also have rentals as well. He's renting out to a motorcycle shop. He rents out the back where people are, some of the truckers are parking their big rigs. 5,725 square feet, 1 acre of land, retail, 9594 Southeast Mare Camp Road, Ocala, Florida. One of our hot listings. Ray, quick aside here. How would you value something like that? What are you looking at? Real estate? You're looking at the books? You're kind of doing a kind of a hybrid there, right?
Well, it all depends on what you're trying to value. Now, that's a privately owned store.
Yep,
they're owning it. So, the books are going to be what we would call a going concern value.
Okay.
If you were buying that building for the business well,
yes,
that would be a different type of valuation.
Okay.
Based on the real estate, then we're just going to look for retail sales in the area. that are located on similar traffic arteries. Americamp Road is kind of a busy road up there in the Ocala area, a little bit outside the city center. So, that's what we're going to look for. And we're going to price that on a price per square foot. We're also going to take a look at the site sizes. It's if this property is on, do we have
the acre of land, 0.95,
about an acre, but I may have a similar property that's on 5 acres.
Okay.
Well, that 5 acres gives it some additional utility,
right?
More room from expansion, parking, things like that. So we're going to also, take that into consideration when we do that valuation.
Yeah, it might have exponentially more dollars there because of that potential.
Correct.
Add on a second building. Now you got cash flow coming in. Mm-hmm. I sold a restaurant like that. There was a church in the back, so essentially, an extra income producing property.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, yep.
Interesting.
But all right, so that's one of our listings there. So 9594 Southeast Merricamp Road. Sorry, did you want to say something else about that? No. Okay, yeah. So you have that kind of hybrid look. Hey, it's not just the real estate. You got income coming in, and then he's also renting out. Also offering seller financing available with a strong down payment. 9594 Southeast Merricamp Road in Ocala, Florida. All right, another hot listing here. Let's take a look at our property at 16625 Goose Ribbon Place, Waimama. This one's a really unique home. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, smart home in a gated community, 24/7 community guard-gated community with a huge lagoon there. You got those lagoon communities now, which are so cool, man. You got volleyball, nature trails, dog parks, vibrant clubhouse. Check out 16625 Goose Ribbon Place in Waimama. Now, this one is easier to run comps on, right? Because it's a platted community.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Those are always the easier ones. Yeah. Unless somebody's gone and done something extremely unique, and then we got to dig a little bit more to find those good comps. But when they're in communities like this, it's usually pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. You're not seeing any elaborate bomb shelters out there, are you?
No.
You've seen that. Hard to build those in Florida, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know at one point they were popular, but no, never saw one.
Just more or less out in some of the other areas where you have basements and stuff like that. I think.
Right, and if you've ever had a pool built, you know how quickly a hole fills up with water in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. So. That's right. All right, so if you're buying, selling, investing, refinancing, check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Ray Hall Appraisals. Fannie Mae estimates that home prices will increase 4.1% in 2025 and 2% in 2026. It also predicts that home sales will increase by 2.5% in 2025 after ending 2024 down 0.2%. So these are national numbers, not necessarily talking about Tampa Bay, South Florida, where we're at here. What's your thoughts here locally? What are you seeing out there?
Locally, I'm still seeing a flat market. Maybe a little bit up and down here and there. Again, like you just said, it all depends not only on your market for Tampa Bay, it depends on your neighborhood. A place like Avila, which is a very exclusive golf community, is going to have a different market than your average kind of suburban neighborhood.
Yep.
So those numbers, don't hang your hat on them. That they're taking in, as you said, it's nationally, they're taking into a lot of considerations. If you're going into an investment or going into some real estate, get with a local professional and ask them what they've been seeing in that market area, to make that good decision.
Right.
I hope there is an increase. That would be great, especially since I have an investment property I have to sell.
Yeah.
So,
Well, a lot of it's dictated predicated on how interest rates do too.
Absolutely.
Buying power of the
100%.
Of the citizens. Yeah.
100%. I remember 2022 started off the busiest we've ever been.
Yes.
So busy. By the end of that year, when interest rates shot up, we were dead.
Cold water.
We had nothing to do with it.
It's like that ice bucket challenge they had going on back in the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was just like that.
Yep.
Whoosh.
There went that new jet ski.
And so did the agent count. The agent count went from like 30,000 down to 15,000. They went back to selling something else.
Yeah, same thing with appraisers.
Yeah.
Everyone decides, this is when I'm out.
That's right.
So,
exactly.
Which I don't mind because that's more business for me.
They're there when the money's easy, and then when it gets tough, they just can't cut it.
Exactly.
They don't have the database. They don't have the skill set.
Yep.
Ray Hall Appraisals. Check them out online. RayHallAppraisals.com. RayHallAppraisals.com. Get that owner's use appraisal, couple $100. They'll do a desktop review, let you know what your value is from that perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
We'll see you again soon.
All right. Coming up, we got Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum contractor extraordinaire, a.k.a. the Tin Man, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Feel-good story of the day and top 5 family movies of all time coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. We got Fred Muth coming up here, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, tampascreens.com. We have our feel-good story of the day, preschool teacher. And by the way, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, so make sure you get out there and thank your teachers. But preschool teacher spots symptoms and tells parents, leading to child's early diagnosis with rare disease. That's our feel-good story. And we also have top 5 family movies of all times coming up here, according to Reader's Digest. We're bringing back our top 5 here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And before we jump into this content with Fred Muth coming up, a couple of hot listings here. We got our listings we like to feature on air, and our strategy works. It helps us sell our listings faster for more money. Old Sycamore. We got a property on Old Sycamore Loop. This one's in Lando Lakes, beautiful Lando Lakes, Florida. Great opportunity for a 2-story home, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 46 square feet. You have stainless steel in the kitchen's appliances there, lighter color kitchen, tile flooring, large fenced-in backyard, plenty of room for the kids to play there. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, Lando Lakes, Florida. You have a lanai that's 10 by 16 and 10711 Old Sycamore Loop, Lando Lakes, Florida. Great buying opportunity here in Tampa Bay. 5274 Miller Bayou Drive. This one's in Port Richey, Pasco County. Buy some dirt. You got vacant land here. By the way, we have about a dozen vacant land listings, commercial listings, total of about 45 listings right now. But this is one of our vacant land parcels where you can buy and build. You have access to the Gulf of Mexico here, Gulf of America. I'm still programmed in there. See that programming over the years? So you have a quarter-acre lot. You do have a bridge there to contend with for your boating activities. So you're going to have a boat that's more of a flats boat, kind of laid at that helm down. Check out 5274 Miller Bayou Drive, another one of our listings, beautiful listings. You can see all of our properties at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Quick shout out to our friends over at sat123.com, that satellite phone store. And if you hit them up on the URL, sat123.com/REQB, that's going to get you to our page, REQB, meaning Real Estate Quarterback. So SAT phone store, satellite phone store. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. I've got a SAT phone. You might need a SAT phone if you're out fishing, hunting. There could be a potential for terrorist attacks. Different ideas to think about there. Satellite phone store. They do a great job out there. Great support staff as well. Sat123.com/RE, like real estate, QB, like quarterback. Sat123.com/REQB. All right, Ray, we keep saying Ray. We've got Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Are you confusing me with Ray Hall of Ray Hall Appraisals?
I know it, and it's right here on my sheet, too. I should have known, right?
That's okay. How's my old friend doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, he
Ray
does
Hall.
great, man. He does a great job, and we miss you in studio, but it's it's all right to have you on the phone, too.
No, I got called. I got to get back out to the beach, another project out there, and one after another. We're still dealing with storm jobs. Storm jobs are just not completed yet. I don't know if we're 50% through the storm work or what. I was going to come in today, but I took a call yesterday about couple of more carports that collapsed at this condo complex.
Wow.
I got to go get them. They're laying on top of the cars. It's you got to rush over and get to them quick.
Wow.
Good thing people weren't underneath. They were compromised from the storm and leaning from the storm, and then they just gave out. You know
right.
how it is. But right now we have 6 under contract over there. I just completed 2. And I'm going to go measure these, and I got 2 more in bid. That's the way it goes. That's what I do. That's why I can't come in today. Sorry, man. See you next time.
No,
sure.
Hey, no problem. Hey, you got to get the work done first. I know how that goes. So you're talk a little bit about the product there, Tampa Screens Aluminum. There's a wide variety of products that you're offering out there.
Yeah, let's mention Ray Hall again. We did his cage for him about 6 years ago. He hasn't talked to me since. What's going on? Just kidding. The variety of products. The big item out there now is either the open view or the panoramic view, which is really a big plus. If you're at the backdrop of your property, backs to a golf course or backs to a waterway or something of the sort, and you build a big cage. Like, for example, I did one down here in Riverview, 75 feet across. The guy had 10 openings on his existing cage, and then we came in, we changed that out. We got 3 large openings on the back end and no chair rails on the side. Just beautiful. Gives it much more visibility and beautiful view of the back. When you're sitting in your old antiquated cage and you look out and you're trying to see the water and you see all these uprights and the chair rails, and really takes away from it. So that product has been around, from my knowledge, I'm going to say about 12 or 14 years. And when I say they sell like hotcakes, they sell like hotcakes. The majority of homeowners today, when they change their cages out, that's the product that they want. And not necessarily if the backdrop calls for it. I just did one in South Tampa where the backyard was a fence and beautiful palm trees as well as some bamboo, and they did not want to, lose the view of their bamboo and palm trees. So we opened up the back end on the new cage. So we get a lot of that. You've seen them, right? You've seen them Panaviews and the open views?
Yeah, what are you seeing in terms of, are the tariffs affecting your business at all? Anything like that happening yet?
At this point, nothing has affected our pricing that I know of, because things are still coming through at the original pricing. I think everybody's just sitting back, holding their breath, basically, to see what happens. And I truly think the whole thing it's just a big negotiating process with this president. That's what he does. He's a negotiator. I think he throws a lot out there, and he's expecting to get negotiations coming back the other way, which has happened. And I'm not sure really how far these tariffs are really going to go. I don't know. I'm optimistic that they're not going to go too harsh.
Yeah.
I understand it's affected the automobile industry to a degree at this point, but we haven't seen it yet. And today, May 6th, obviously the show. When's the show going to air? The 8th?
Yep. That's right.
Maybe by the 8th there'd be a whole different opinion. I don't know. What are you hearing?
No, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good stuff, man. I think it's an effort that needed to be made. We needed to reshore, bring manufacturing back on shore, and it's strictly from a, if you look at it from a military standpoint, I mean, just strictly that alone needed to be done. And then you look at all the benefits of that, job growth. You look at also When you say a car is made in the United States, a lot of times people are saying it's assembled in the United States, right? It's not actually all the components, in other words, aren't made here. And those are a lot of the higher paying jobs, like Peter Navarro. He's an economist that I like to follow, and he says, a lot of the transmissions, the more intricate engine parts are built overseas, shipped here, and then, yes, they're manufactured here, or they're assembled here, but they call it manufactured, but essentially, I think we need to bring back more of that. We need to have our reliability and not be dependent on other countries, even when it gets into the pharmaceuticals. Look at, simple things like ivermectin and some of these needed antibiotics. We needed to bring those back, and I think the federal funds rate should be reduced. I think we need to stimulate the economy, and let's drop the rates. Let's create more buying and selling amongst people in the real estate space.
Well, what you just said, I can't top that. I agree. 100% agreement right here. And, I did hear a Ford commercial, believe it or not, recently where they were advertising, and our vehicles are assembled in the United States. That's all they say.
Yeah, assembled. Yeah, that's right. Assembled.
They're not telling you where the components are coming from. We know where the components are coming from. There's three places that they're coming from, and I know where they're coming from. Well, I did a restoration on a 67 Camaro in 2012, and believe it or not, I could still get new old stock parts, which was the manufactured parts in the United States, and the optional junk that is available from overseas. I saw cars like mine that were built with that, and they didn't compare. It's just horrible. I mean, the average. When you look at these things, you can see the lack of quality in them.
Right.
And it's just hard for me to understand why people don't recognize this at this point. It's hurting us. It's hurting us bad. Way back, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, when the unions were rough and, all our steel went away. It was manufactured in Japan and Germany because our unions were tough and, they could manufacture for a lot less money over there. And we lost our steel industry, basically. And, I think Donald Trump's doing what he can to get that back as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's, interesting. You mentioned steel. I just did a quick view. US Steel agreed to be acquired by Nippon Steel Corporation in December 2023 for $14.9 billion. Isn't that sad? US Steel, I believe, is now owned by, a Japanese country? Yeah, purchased by Japan's Nippon Steel.
That's right.
So U.S. Steel
absolutely.
has been shipped overseas and is now owned by a foreign, at least they're not an adversary, but a foreign country. But if you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens Aluminum, for all of your screens needs. And we kind of call it that in-between space, Fred. We kind of, we look at it, it's not the interior of the home, it's not quite the exterior, but it's that in-between. You're kind of, you're protected from some of the insects that are out there, the sun, and you get some UV protection from those screen rooms and pool cages.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great product, and it's definitely adds value real estate wise. We've got our top 5 today is top 5 family movies of all time. So I know family night, movie night is a fun time for families. Fred, do you have any that come to mind? Top 5 family movies?
I would say the original Vacation movie was probably top of the line for me. Vacation was fantastic. Chevy Chase and, some of the other characters in there. And then, of course, the follow-ups on that. But, I could go on and on and on. But to me, the Chevy Chase original Vacation movie was a tremendous.
Oh, yeah. What is that? Was that Lampoon's Vacation or something like that? Yep.
National Lampoon. Yes, it was.
That's right. Yeah. So, according to Reader's Digest, go ahead. Did you have another one?
I still record lines from that. I'll be out with people and I'll pick up a line from that movie and I'll throw it out there. Somebody at the other end of the table will start laughing because they know where I'm going with it. Yeah,
exactly. So, the top 5 they have here is you got Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. You have The Goonies. What a classic that was, right? A lot of good quotes from that one. I think that was around 93. Yep. You got also E.T. Extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
That was back in, I think it was around 85. Karate Kid. And, of course, the classic Karate Kid there, Daniel LaRusso. And then The Sandlot, another one. The Sandlot. Pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool movies. Those are good classic American, movies there. Sound of Music's up here, too, it says. Let's see, other ones. Let's see. Yeah, The Goonies is pretty cool. There you go. There's the clip. Hey, you guys. So,
you recall Overboard? I'm trying to think. Kurt Russell and what's her name? The blonde. I can't think of
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Overboard. That's a family movie because it's all about his family, and his family was a train wreck. And if you can't stop laughing while you watch that movie, then you're
what about Teen Wolf? That's somewhere in there too, with like a cool little Teen Wolf, back in the day, right? There you go. Yep. So there's some family movies for you to check out with your family. Do some family time and sit down and enjoy it. Back to the Future, classic. Yeah, that's a good one, Todd. Yep.
I was at the Mecum auction this year, and the car was there. They had 5 of them cars, and the one car that they never used in the movie, they only used for advertising. It was there, and you get to look at the entire thing. You can touch it, look at, and sit in it if you want it. And I think the price of that, I think it went for $365,000. That car.
That's pretty cool. The old school DeLorean. There's some
The
Halloween
old DeLorean.
costumes in there too. You know, all of those movies we just mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk more with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, TampaScreens.com, contractor extraordinaire. I want to ask you a little bit more about the processing side, the permitting side, where things are at with that. Also coming up, our feel-good story of the day: preschool teacher spots symptoms and tells parents, leading to child's early diagnosis with rare disease. Feel-good story of the day coming up here. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, great job by the producers. Our views on YouTube are up 700% from Q4 to Q1. Awesome improvement. And thanks to you for subscribing out there. Go to the YouTube Rumble channel, subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
For all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com. For all of your precious metals and jewelry design, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Reach out to Jennifer. Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. SJ Movers and Junk Removal, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 727-717-0846 for all your moving and junk removal. 727-717-0846. SJ Movers and Junk Removal. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back here at studio. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. These guys are cracking me up in the breaks here. We got Fred Muth on the line. Permits. We're going to touch base on permits. Also, top 5 countries of origin of foreign buyers in Florida. So, in other words, what countries are buying in Florida the most? We're going to talk about that. We got a hot listing here in Tampa Bay. This one is, let's check out 10413 Main Street, Thonotosassa. Great opportunity to buy land. We got some land out here in Thonotosassa. 3.6 acres, vacant land, commercial property, right out there in East Hillsborough County, Thonotosassa. Great opportunity to buy real estate. We got lots of land, by the way. If you're looking for land, reach out. We've got about a dozen or so vacant land parcels. We've got another handful of commercial property listings, and, of course, a lot of residential listings. So if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, you want expert representation, or maybe you're looking to refinance, pull out some cash, maybe pay off some credit card debt, we can help you with that as well. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, feel good story of the day. During Teacher Appreciation Week, a preschool teacher in Arizona is being celebrated for spotting early signs of Duchenne muscular dystrophy in a student named Hudson. She noticed he struggled to run and used an unusual method to stand up, signs others had missed. Thanks to her concern, Hudson was diagnosed early and became one of the first kids to receive FDA-approved gene therapy. His family says her actions changed the course of his life. There you have it. Feel-good story of the day. I love those stories. The teacher just showed a little extra concern, and she actually, had the understanding of, hey, that might be symptoms for this disease. So what an awesome story there. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens Aluminum, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Fred, what are you seeing in permitting side of the construction business?
Well, you guys were joking around and laughing, and then all of a sudden you mentioned permits.
Could you hear all that?
I heard silence, and everything stopped. There's nothing funny. There's nothing enlightening, nothing funny, nothing cool about permitting. Permitting is a major problem in our business. I tell people, in all honesty, I've been doing this a long time. I got a lot of friends that are competitors. They give me their South Tampa pool cage leads. They do not want to deal with them, and I know why. It's horrendous. I signed a guy up. Here's a perfect example. I signed a guy January 2024, and he had to encroach into the yard about 10 square feet to build this cage because of his AC system. So initially, I said that's going to require a walkthrough variance, which was an administrative variance. They would give you up to a certain percentage. You had to do, a certain procedure to get it. And we went through all that, and the plans examiner comes back and says, I'm sorry, but this requires a design exception, not a variance. So this was 2 months later, 2.5 months later. Okay.
Wow.
Then the fun starts. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 3 weeks ago, I get an email, and they made a change. They said this never required a design exception. It is strictly a variance option. It's horrible. It's absolutely terrible. And
wow.
The guy travels, the homeowner, and I always catch him at an airport. And so I said to him, I'm going to have everything printed up. We got about 65 emails from the city. I'm going to have them printed up on paper, and I'm going to sit down with a supervisor, get it resolved. Because I feel terrible for this guy. Here, I take his deposit on the basis that we can get this thing on a administrative variance, and then the back and forth in the city. His permit has probably been in the hands of 8 people so far.
Wow.
Joe, Jill, Jack, Jerry, George, Jimmy. Nobody talks to each other. They just pass it from one desk to the other.
Yeah.
Now that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong in this business. That's the epitome of governmental
bureaucracy.
incompetence as far as I'm concerned. And we have to deal with it. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So you had to ask. You had to ruin my day, didn't you?
No, it's good to know. People need to know that these types of things you got to look for. You got to understand that type of thing. All right, so top countries of origin of foreign buyers in Florida. Fred Muth, any guess? My top 5 countries here.
Foreign buyers.
Yeah, foreign buyers. So which countries are buying in Florida?
Buying real estate in Florida or buying product?
Yeah, the folks that are buying real estate in Florida. Which country of origin?
There's a lot of people from Asia, a heck of a lot of people from Asia coming over here buying property. I see them all. I meet with them constantly, and when I say Asia, it could be Vietnam, could be China, could be Japan. I meet maybe 3 or 4 Asians a week that just bought their new home.
It could be a pocket. It could be a pocket out there where you're at. Number 1 is Canada, 17%. Number 2, Argentina, 10%. Colombia, number 7. Brazil, number 6. The UK rounds out the top 5. And then Venezuela is 4%. So,
I think we talked about that before, and Canada was number 1. That's right. I do recall that.
Yeah, Florida accounted for 41% of all U.S. home purchases by Canadians last year, making it the most popular state. So, I was talking to Jenny Restrepo. She's over there. She's pretty involved with the realtor boards. And by the way, the Pinellas County Realtor Organization and the Tampa, used to be GTAR. Have merged, and they're now called STAR. So it's the Suncoast Tampa Area Realtors. So she was saying, hey, get on the Foreign Council, and they have these different trips coming up. So I think next year I might have to make a trip to Canada. There's a lot of buyers potential, a lot of development potential people coming down here. So Might have to get on that trip. Maybe you might have to do a trip up there, Fred. What do you think?
You call me. I need about an hour's notice.
There you go. There you go. Just about an hour's notice. Get the planning going. All right, Fred,
Yeah.
check him out online, tampascreens.com. Fred Muth, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, facebook.com/Tampa Screens. Fred Muth, thanks for always being a pleasure to chat with, buddy.
Yes, sir. Likewise. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All righty, take care. All right, we had Ray Hall on the front end, and of course Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, another great show. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. Thanks for all your support with the Consumer Quarterback Show. It really makes our day when you show up at our events. We've got Crown and Bull coming up, Business Mixer Thursday, May 22nd. And it really makes our day when you call the hotline and support the show, supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.